I don't like solving with fractions, but how do we get rid of them? Well, one of the things that's easy to do is we call it clearing the denominator. First off, we find out what the common denominator is, in this case, 4. Then we multiply everything times 4. So we get 4 times x plus 1 over 2 plus 4 times x plus 3 over 4 equals 4 times 1 over 2. Now, 4 cancels the 2 to leave a 2 on top. 4 cancels the 4. 4 cancels the 2 to leave the 2 on top. And so we're left with 2 times x plus 1 plus x plus 3 equals 2 times 1. Notice we suddenly have no denominator. 2x plus 2, we're going to distribute the 2, plus x plus 3 equals 2. Let's combine like terms. 2x and another x is 3x. 2 and 3 makes 5 equals 2. Subtract 5 from each side, and we get 3x equals negative 3, or x equals negative 1. I'm going to change colors so that we can solve this. Negative 1 plus 1 over 2 plus negative 1 plus 3 over 4. Do you get 1 half? Negative 1 and 1 is 0 halves, plus negative 1 plus 3 is 2 fourths. Do you get 1 half? Yes. And so our answer is negative 1. Okay. I'll wait while you do this one, and then when you're ready, I'll show you how I solved it. Common denominator here is 20, so we're going to multiply everything by 20. 20 times 3x plus 8 over 5 plus 7 times 20 over 5 equals negative 7x times 20 over 4. 20 cancels against the 5, leaving a 4 times 3x plus 8. 20 cancels against the 5, leaving a 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 20 cancels against the 4 for a 5. Negative 7x times 5. Well, let's distribute this, and we get 12x plus 32 plus 28 equals negative 35x. Let's add 35x to each side, and we get 47x plus 32 and 28 is 60 equals 0. Let's subtract 60 from each side, and we get 47x equals negative 60. Divide both sides by 47, and we get x equals negative 60 47ths. I definitely don't want to check this one. Since that's one of the choices, I'm sticking with it. I suppose we could put it into our calculator. Let's do that. 3, so we're going to have a fraction here, aren't we? Clear. Let's see. Fraction. 3 times fraction negative 67, or 60, excuse me, over 47 plus 8 over 5 plus fraction 7 over 5. What do we get? 105 over 47. Let's go to the other side. Fraction. Negative 7. Fraction. Times. Negative 7 times fraction. Negative 60 over 47 over 4 equals 105 over 47. It does check. What do you know? Will miracles never cease? Okay. Hey, when we have decimals, we can clear the decimal by multiplying everything by how many decimal places the least one has. In this case, we're going to multiply everything by 100 because of these two decimal places here, here, and here. 200ths times 100 is 2 times 60. 400ths times 100 is 4x equals 300ths times 100 is 3 times 50 plus x. 2 times 60 is 120 plus 4x equals 150 plus 3x. Let's subtract 3x from both sides and we get x. Let's subtract 120 from each side equals 30. So 0.2 times 0.02 times 60 is 1.2. 0.04 times 30 is 1.2. 0.03 times parentheses 50 plus 30 close parentheses equals 2.4, which is true. So it does checks. X does equal 30. Okay, you solve this one, and when you get done, I'll show you how I did it. Smallest decimal place is 2 decimal places, so I'm going to multiply everything by 100. Or in other words, move the decimal point 2 places. Negative 8y plus 13 times 9,000 minus y. Notice I only have to multiply one of those two parts by 100 equals 29y. Now I've got all whole numbers. I'm going to distribute this. Negative 8y, 13 times 9,000 is 117,000 minus 13y equals 29y. Combine these two, I get negative 21y plus 117,000 equals 29y. Add 21y to both sides. I get 117,000 equals 50y. Divide both sides by 50. And I get 2340 as my answer. Alright. So, if you go on then, you will see that the next section is, what do we do if sometimes we don't get a solution, or sometimes we get many solutions? Well, if we have a equation where we have one solution, we call it a conditional linear equation. If we end up with some kind of a identity, such as 0 equals 0, we have an infinite number of solutions. And if we come up with something like negative 15 equals negative 20, or a contradiction, then we have a null set solution. Let's look at this one here and see if we get one answer, if we get many answers, or if we get no answers. This is 5x plus 10 minus 2x minus 2, right, negative, equals 3x plus 1. 5 minus 2 is 3x. 10 minus 2 is 8. 3x minus 8 equals 3x plus 1. Let's subtract 3x from both sides, and we get negative 8 equals 1. It never equals 1, so this is a contradiction, and there is no solution. Okay, you try this one, and when you're done, I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so negative 6s minus 1 plus, I'm going to multiply this out here. 3 times 2 is 6s. 3 times 1 is 3 equals 0. 6s, negative 6s plus 6s is no s's, so we have negative 1 plus 3, which is 2, equals 0. 2 never equals 0, so it is a contradiction. 2 does not equal 0.